Welcome back, everyone. We're here now with Game 4 of your finals here in the FoC Tournament number 1 with What Is Your Education, Son? Leading the series 2-1. They are currently the Hellborn team, and Bot is on the Legion side. So far, is this the final game of the series? Will they take it 3-1, or will Bot force a Game 5 to decide this series?
Of course, they will force a Game 5. It's a 3-1 is out of the question, I'm sure.
Okay.
So if you could see what the open ban here from the side of Bot is.
Bushwhack! Ban Bushwhack!
Yeah.
Bushwhack, Monarch, Keeper of the Forest. So 2 of the heroes we've seen quite a lot this series. And then Sapphire, Demented Shaman, and Bramble. It seems like the bans have evolved over the series, which is, that's typically how it goes. Certain things get either respect banned or just pushed out of the game. We don't want to see that no more.
Yeah, you kind of realize, initially, sometimes the initial thought process can be, we can easily deal with this thing. And then you kind of realize, is there any reason that we're kind of forcing ourselves to play against it? Because it's just really hard to play into. And I can definitely kind of personally say that heroes like Keeper can just be very frustrating to play up against. He just kind of heal up the towers that you're pushing, and he's just constantly moving around the map and setting up kills, and he's just really hard to fight until in the late game when he has his root as well as the armor. So
I understand it. I like the Keeper ban, and I'm kind of happy that they're getting rid of the Bushwhack, because we've seen it picked up every single game. So even whether it's in a win or a loss, it's been frustrating to play against, probably.
Yeah, I'm a bit tired of watching Bushwhack personally. Okay, I was about to say, since they didn't ban the hammer and the Bushwhack instead, now obviously that opens up the option for Hellborn side to run a hammer. Ooh. Are we gonna watch Flux NG?
Let's go! NG Flux Magnus. They already won they won in our hearts and in the draft. No matter the outcome of the game, they have picked the combo.
I am kind of shocked that this combo has been able to go through every single series, unpicked or unbanned. But I suppose none of the teams really like those heroes. I just feel like it's just really easy to navigate a draft like this.
Yep, they're going to need some shrunken heads to combat that.
I think it's also a somewhat decent way to deal with the kind of the hammer storm. Because
toss them in and out of energy field.
Yeah, it's also just, you can, if hammer initiates on someone, you can kind of pull him away somewhat.
Just kite him.
Yeah. And also just, if they choose just to let the hammer storm free farm, they still end up having really powerful team fights, so they can kind of offset the fact that they're going up against a really far Hammerstorm. I also think Hammerstorm is one of those heroes that I honestly think he does worse playing on the back foot than the Bushwhack does, because Bushwhack still has pretty decent damage by himself and is a backline hero, whereas Hammerstorm, once you're down, you're really down, I feel.
So, he's in the fray, he's fighting. No matter if his GPM's 100 or 500.
Yeah, you don't Hammer really kind of wants to get his first initial items where you can really start picking up pace and farming the stacks. But if you're getting your jungle invaded and you don't have any stacks to clear, you're kind of just forced to kill creeps in the lane, which you could do as a Bushwhack just by auto attacking anyway.
So they go with Puppet Master, Calamity, and Pyromancer bans. This is a lot of stuff we've kind of seen throughout as well. So just kind of evolving over the course of the day. Gladiator, Empath, and Apex. So that's 2 solo lanes and the 1 support option, which I could understand the Empath ban. It sits inside the Hammer Storm. Doesn't matter if it gets Flux pulled. You can always use a Storm Spirit or something, or a tablet. Whereas any other support's probably getting dragged into the field combo.
So they decided to pick Andromeda here, which... Andromeda against the Engineer, it's not the greatest hero, but at the same time, Andromeda is pretty good with Hammerstorm, so...
Also hard to positioned correctly against the Flux.
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
you want to stay like half a screen to one screen away from your carry, and then swap him when he gets jumped. But you're gonna just get dragged most likely if you're close enough to the Flux anyway. So it can be hard to play that here.
Yeah.
To go with a Midas, which I don't think we've seen any Midas today.
No, it's probably gonna be a mid Midas, and then they're probably gonna pick. Do you reckon they still could consider picking a Tempest here to like run the Tempest jungle?
Ooh.
Because they have done that
They
previously.
could,
So.
and he could just get a Shrunken, and then they have a Riftwalker, I guess, to counter the. But it is a little bit of a delayed.
Also a Flux.
Cancel.
Flux to counter the.
Oh yeah. What am I saying? I'm missing the most obvious one. The hardest counter to Tempest in this match is Flux. I don't think they want to pick a Flux. Ideally, that'd be kind of counterproductive. But
they don't want to pick Tempest. I'm with you.
You baited me there. You exploited my tiredness.
Yeah, that's fine. Now we're
no, it's all good.
I'm just happy. I really like the Moon Queen here. Actually, I was going to say that they're really looking for some auto tech here, and I mean they don't have any saves for Moon Queen, but knowing that they're going up against the Plague Rider, then Moon Queen kind of has. She's not going to be pressured early on, and they don't really.
They win Tempest anyway. They counterpicked themselves. I don't think. To be honest, this could still work. It's not like guaranteed to like backfire, but it's going to be a hard game for Tempest to play.
It does force the Flux to be a little bit more conservative with using his ultimates. He can't really initiate with it because they do have to counter initiate with Tempest. If he just like pops a Shrunken, gets pulled in, then pops Shrunken and just ultis everyone, that he doesn't really care.
Yeah, this could go either way. It could be like full disaster for a Tempest, or it could be like everything like just lines up correctly. Tempest gets the ultimate of his dreams, and then Hammer just wails on everyone. I do agree with you about the Moon Queen pick. I actually think it's really good here. Typically, you want to pick Moon Queen when you can be allowed to be greedy, because it's more of a greedy style of carry. It can be punished in lane. It just doesn't offer a whole lot. But from the first 4 picks that Legion had, I will say I don't think they had like that much mana power to like shut down the Moon Queen.
No.
And it farms just as fast as like the Hammer does, if not faster. So
they currently don't have anyone that can clear the jungle. As well as they are they're looking for a hero that can kind of give them that sustained damage, and I feel like honestly Moon Queen is one of the strongest heroes right now if she gets to like kind of free farm early on. And she's also pretty good against Hammer because she can kind of backline a little bit at the same time. The concern with this draft is that they have like no way to save the Moon Queen if she gets gone on. That being said,
all in team fight, Moon Queen's gotta fend for herself.
Yeah, but that being said, if you look at the draft of Hellborn, who is going to gank the Moon Queen early on?
It's pretty much Midas either needs a rune or Tempest needs to play very aggressively with like smokes. But then even then he's ganking with a Plague Rider. It's kind of hard to coordinate that really well. Like they need levels for that to work. It's really like a timing type of thing.
So realistically, you're unless they decide to like maybe rotate the Hammer with an early smoke or something, there's not really going to be that many chances for the Hellborn side to actually kill the Moon Queen early on, even if she doesn't have any defensive support. So,
if Plague Rider manages to have like a really good laning phase, like he somehow manages to 1v2 bully them with the levels and nukes, which I don't think should happen, but possible, I guess, that he could have a good laning phase. Moon Queen should be having a more or less free game here.
Yeah, I guess the Plague Rider slows down the Moon Queen a little bit. Would you like to see the Moon Queen like put any points into his Moonbeam and try to like actually pressure the Plague Rider? Maybe in conjunction with the what's it called, the shared existence from the Riftwalker. Maybe they could like run down the Plague Rider, or do you think he should just kind of accept that the Plague Rider is just kind of freely deny a little bit of the lane and just instead opt for like maxing his multi-strike?
I think that's an option he could go for, but I think I would do the latter, which is just go full greed this game, level up the multi-strike, and I think Rift should. It's good he's pulling right now, but I think he should try to pressure the Plague a little bit, and then in between start getting the stacks going, so Moon Queen can rush the Whispering Helm. I think it hurts the Moon Queen a lot that the Plague will deny one creep every wave, so to speak. But Moon Queen can remedy that by rotating earlier into the jungle as soon as he gets the item finished.
For sure.
And then that'll get his GPM back to where it's supposed to, where it was supposed to have been.
Yeah. I feel like I think the Rift Walker is gonna try to reward the he's gonna try to reward the wards blocking the camp, but the reward blocking the camp is actually but it's already run out.
It's gonna expire anyway. Yeah, he doesn't know that though. He might have thought it was a word of sight. So it's still good that he tried to unblock it, but it'll be like, oh, I unblocked it, but it's actually just wore off.
Yeah, but the sad part is he probably doesn't know that the creep spawned, so he's probably not gonna look to stack it, like pull them just right now.
Oh, nice job. He's gonna steal the haste from Midas, who had a bottle.
That's very good. Very good.
And Flux is getting his bottle delivered right now. Top lane, they tried to kill the hammer, or counter kill the hammer, but they lost the engineer first. Magnus goes in with a stun here on the Andro.
Wait, how are they laning this? Oh, this is not like how I anticipate them to lane. I am not sure I like the idea of running a dual lane on the top lane, honestly. I guess it's actually not the worst, but...
You wanted the Flux to lane with the NG mid, or...?
Yeah, I think personally I would have just sent the Magnus Suicide and just run Flux NG mid and just shut down the Midas and just accept that the hammer is going to have farm. Because you're running
they're actually winning the lane in creep farm. Magnus is 16-1, Hammer's 8-0. So other than the Bloodlust to Andro...
Right. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, no, I get what you were saying though, and I think you weren't wrong. But the fact that it's working out means these guys probably know what they're doing.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's just from the previous games, Tempest has been doing a lot of rotating. Maybe this game he's not going to rotate nearly as much, but...
It's level 5 with 3-minute mana ring. Everything's going according to the plan.
Yeah, but it's just yeah, I think maybe it's better than I kind of anticipated.
What a bailed rot. So he's gonna rot without having boots here. He's gonna try to, and it doesn't have level 6 either. So it's a little bit early of a rotation for my taste, but this might end up working out well because they are starting an engagement. The Magnus will have the Lava Surge down and possibly not even have mana. Ideally, they want to kill the Magnus here. He stuns him up.
Oh, wait, he's... No. They're probably gonna get the engineer here, right?
Yeah, they're gonna get the support. If anything, it buys a little bit of space for Hammer to farm while the engineer's dead, and the Magnus is probably gonna either go to base and regen or sit at the tower with low life because he can't walk up to lane now. But for my own personal taste, the Tempest gank was a little bit too early.
Yeah, but that's not how they like to play in general with this Tempest. They really like to... I mean, I think it's fine, honestly. Like, you know, she's sitting at 380 GPM. I think if you think about it, like I still think the priority is to make sure that the Hammerstorm gets like decent farm, because he is going to be your main source of damage throughout the game, and he's probably going to be the one who's contending. It's going to be fighting against the Moon Queen, whereas Moon Queen is currently completely free farming. So, or I guess with a small...
He's got a sub 5-minute Whispering Helm with 370 GPM and 32 last hits, so pretty solid. This probably would have been closer to 40 creep kills, I think, if there wasn't a Plague Rider. Yeah, he gets level 6 here.
I still
doesn't have boots though.
Well. Yep. Do you think he should use the Whispering Helm on the Wolf Commander just to have a creep to stack with, or he's gonna TP?
He definitely could. Flux is gonna defensive ulti here, but still dies because the Midas had DD. Tempest is... Oh, the tower's actually hitting the Elemental. Gets a full duration ulti up, but Moon Queen's... oh, he is gonna fall. The DD Midas warps in. He doesn't even fall in return. Because the Tempest Elementals are doing a lot of return pressure to the Riftwalker. This is a really good sequence of events for Hellborn. They got 2 kills, and Midas survived with only losing the Tempest.
I don't know how I feel about the TP from Moon Queen though. I feel like it's really hard to TP to a fight when you only have boots and you just have a Whispering.
Yeah, it was a bit hopeful.
Especially
probably,
like when
his teammates getting dove.
I know, but I think when you're in the case of this Moon Queen, I think your only kind of concern should just be to how can I get my primary items where I'm no longer... he needs to...
Top lane, engineer? That's a dead engineer. Tempest is just ganking everyone. 2-1 and 2.
Yep. Maybe you should update your Tempest playstyle to...
I could.
Anyway, we will not take it. Don't worry. Okay, so going back to what I originally
Shrink it
said,
before elk boats. I can't do that.
he's going. He's going
I
for
need elk boats, man.
He's going for astrolabe. He's valuing his teammates' survivability. So,
True.
So here the Flux has maxes magnetic search, which I actually don't really like in this. I think you probably would rather max your release, because you against a Midas, you're not necessarily playing that offensively. I think sometimes it can be correct to max the
surge.
Magnetic surge. If you're like really far ahead, it can give you, because you at level 7 when you have 4 points in it, it has 4-second cooldown, so you can actually use it twice. But you're just not really going to be killing a Midas anyway. So I probably would have just preferred if you just maxed his Q, so you could just pull in and then Q and for like a rather significant amount of damage. Whereas right now he just has very little burst.
Yeah, I know back in the days we used to max the surge, but I think the release makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah.
The big benefit is lowering the cooldown.
Ooh,
here comes a Plague Rider ulti. It's a lot of creeps, and that means it bounces back to the Flux a lot. So that's what you want. Takes out the Flux.
I kind of want to go back to what I originally said, that I still think it was better just to dual lane the Flux middle.
Classic.
Because when the rotation started happening from the Tempest, it just kind of fell apart in the top lane. Now you have a Magma sitting with 240 GPM. You have a...
I'm very surprised that he's only level 4. He does rotate in here for gank attempt on the Midas. There's a pullback from the Flux. Riftwalker slows him down a little bit with the Cascade pull.
Oh, he's gonna get away.
There should be another Magma stun before the warp comes up. They should be able to secure the kill here. Queen comes in with a level 1 beam just to assist for the kill. He hasn't used the Whispering yet. I would like him to either take... Yeah, I was going to say the Vagabond or the Wolf Commander would both be good.
But yeah, as I was saying, I feel when you decide to run two heroes top, you are sort of spreading out your strength across the map. And like when you're running a Moon Queen or something, you kind of need to make sure you secure your side of the map. You need to secure your jungle, your mid lane, and your bottom lane. And the only real way to do that is to make sure that the pressure from the middle lane is not really that significant. Which is so if you're running a dual lane mid, the Midas is gonna be like struggling pretty hard early on. And the thing is that, you know, if the Hellborn they decide to send Andromeda mid to Hell the Midas, then the Magmus is going up solo against the Hammerstone, which I think should be in his favor, because he has the volcanic touch where he can just kind of harass the... I guess he's not like gonna completely stomping out the lane, but I think Magmus should be able to lane pretty decently 1v1 against the Hammerstorm.
I'm starting to realize why you draft for our team. This makes a lot of... I'm just listening, and this just makes a lot of sense. Like, everything's just very well thought out. No, but yeah, I mean, the first few minutes, they did do a lot of pressure, but looking back at it, I think having Magnus solo lane would probably yield the same result as what they did with the dual lane. And then Flux, instead of having 2 deaths and 300 GPM, as we see them get a kill in the Hammerstorm. That's a really good kill. Andrew's Invis here. She's going for a counter kill in the Flux. One more auto take. Oh, but there's the Magma stun just in time. Buys the distance for the Flux. Midas comes in here very hopeful to try to get a counter kill. He does get the Riftwalker, but he will pay for his life with it. Not going to be that that exchange he's looking for in the end. But to go back to what we were saying, the Flux, I think, would be having a much better game than he is now. And the Midas on the receiving end would not be 400 GPM where he's having a great start.
So the pressure would be pretty... The Hammerstorm probably would have had a better game. He would probably be excelled quite a bit, but Hammerstorm is not really looking to take like early fights anyway. So, and I think Moon Queen is also kind of happy to delay the game, which is in kind of at least his favor. So.
Very true, very true. I agree that the NG could have been mid, and this would have been favoring the Legion's makeup a bit better. So we see Hellborn invading the jungle here. They spot out some of the stacks. Mostly just the stacked easy campus. I think Moon Queen took most of them. Hammer's gonna get stunned up here. If he does fall, that's gonna be a pretty crucial death, as he did just respawn from it. That Tempest Hole gonna be avoided here very nicely. as the spread comes out, he's going to fall. And this should prompt a full retreat mode from the Hellborn side. They don't have any vision currently to hang around here as well. Legion actually backs off. I'm a little surprised they didn't go for more of a chase there, but I suppose with the Magma Stead, they didn't really have the best catch.
Actually, perhaps the thing is that maybe the Ripwalker should have just like stayed bot for like the first 30 seconds of the game or something, and then like when they realized it was just, you know, like rather maybe they could have sent the Ripwalker to elsewhere, because the Moon Queen probably was fine against the Plague Rider Suicide anyway.
Probably. I mean, they don't have a defensive support like we talked about anyway, so they could have just went 2-2-1 instead and let Moon Queen solo. Emma's gonna come in here with the Meteor flying in. Moon Queen gets stunned up. She might be able to buy enough distance here. She's gonna man up. There's a heal from the Astrolabe. Gonna take him out with the help of the Vagabond leader. Might have sniped him out though. Energy field holding him in place. He doesn't have warp to get out of this energy field. He turns around with a combo. Not gonna land though. Plague Rider is gonna go down. A lot of damage coming in from both the Flux and the Ripwalker. Vagabond leader also assisting here. Hat-trick comes out for the Flux. And everyone but the Hammerstorm falls. So they did get the Moon Queen and the Engineer. But it came at a big, valuable cost of 4 players.
Yeah, the game has really high like speed right now, and Moon Queen's items, they're just not really, she's not really equipped to deal with all, you know, she has no like power supply or vestments or energizer or something where she can kind of deal with this constant fighting going on. I think I
was surprised she lived as long as she did. I was really expecting her to die a lot faster. I was surprised.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the Vagabond leader was doing so much damage in that fight, actually.
So the Flux decided to go for Shamans. I'm not sure how I feel about the Shamans. I feel like it's like a...
It's not an Outbones.
It's not exactly. It's not an Outbones. I obviously personally would have gone Outbones, but I can definitely understand the idea of not going Outbones. But it's just like it's kind of a temporary solution. I guess it's more like a temporary solution because you need to get a Shrunken and Flux at some point anyway, and yeah, this Hellborn team screams Shrunken Head, Plague Rider, alt bouncing around, Midas combos and hammer stuns, and everything else thrown in the mix with that being said. I've kind of been in this situation myself on Flux previously, where I bought a Shamans early, and then you buy Shamans early, and you don't really want to buy a Shrunken immediately after. But
good now, but gonna be worse later, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess it might help them like fight off the Hellborn for a little bit because he's going to be more tanky. But maybe something like an Astrolabe wouldn't have been out of the question, honestly. It could probably, or like an Energizer. I mean, it's also the issue is like they have very little map control currently. I feel like they're kind of being pressured on several lanes. They're down 2 towers now. 3 towers even, without having taken a single tower from the Hellborn side. Actually barely scratched any of the towers.
And the wards from Hellborn were very aggressive. One of them just despawned, but they have one in the Legion jungle right now, so they're spotting out the rotations that the Legion are doing quite well as well, and keeping them pinned almost to their tier 2 towers. Lanes are pushed from top and bottom. Well, quite even game though. 2,300 gold lead for Hellborn so far.
Yeah.
When do you think we'll see the first Conquer attempted, and which team do you think we'll see look to do that? I think both teams can do a Conquer maybe in the next few minutes. They have lifesteal carries that can do it okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we'll see a Conquer from the Legion side in the near future. I think, I mean, they can obviously do it, but it might be like somewhat not like risky, but it's just also going to be very like time consuming and.
TP's mid lane. They're trying to get a kill on this Flux here. He uses a defensive discharge. Ends up falling anyway. He was actually on a legendary streak because of that last team fight where he got the hat trick. Got him up to that 5 kill mark, but
he got swapped by the Andromeda, I can see.
Okay. Good swap then.
Yeah.
Does this tower just fall without it looks like it just falls. Hammer activated the brute strain.
I really like
force out a glyph.
this pressure Hellborn is putting on Legion. I really like Hammerstorm. He could just sit in the jungle and just farm up, but I kind of like that they're just taking control of the map and just removing all the towers. It makes it really easy for them to invade the enemy jungle. And at the same time, I don't know why they decided for Hammer to last at the tower, but
I would have if we didn't get to this point of the game yet and we were still at the draft, I would expect both the Hammer and the Moon Queen to be closer to 600 GPM at this part of the game. So that just shows you that both sides are playing a little bit more. Ooh, a mine trap! Very nice. Takes out the Andro there. But yeah, it just shows that both sides are playing a little bit more maybe active than perhaps need to be, or.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean,
it's not a bad thing though.
Yeah, it's like there's obviously several ways to play it out. I think. I think both sides to some degree kind of need to get their core items for their teams to sort of to be useful. But I mean, that being said, if they're both kind of lacking their core items, I guess none of them are so. None of them are powerful, so it's maybe more a case of applying pressure so the opposite team can't get their core items. I think Moon Queen seems to be working towards a Shrunken now. I think I saw her pick up a Mighty Blade. I do think she needs a Shrunken because there's a lot of stuns coming out from the Hellborn as well as the Plague Royal.
Oh, Magma's ultimate got a PK. He missed the stun. Oh. They flux pull, but now they're gonna have to retreat. They messed up the surge into pull combo.
Wait, do you reckon he pulled in by accident? Maybe it's meant to.
This is gonna hold too. It's not cancelled.
Big Rift
counter from the Riftwalker lands onto 3. Magma stuns up 2. He's still alive. He hasn't died yet. Plague bouncing back and forth, hits a lot of heroes. Doesn't kill anyone yet. Unbelievable. They're still alive on Legion. Plague Rider now forced to retreat.
Magma's going in.
Magnus is manning up.
Guys,
let's see that on low life. Decides to come back in.
That was beautiful. I gotta say that it looked very grim.
I can't believe that went that well for Legion.
And
they backfired the first initiation, and then even the counter initiation was great for Hellborn, but a Riftwalker ultimate into follow up proved to be too much.
Did you
Only Andromeda survived.
Did you see what the Flux just picked up?
Yeah, let's go. He gets a clap. I don't know if you can hear it.
I think he heard you 6 minutes ago.
He's
so.
Alcphones.
I think Flux is one of those heroes where you just need to get a few items, and the hero just becomes such a menace to deal with. So,
you know what? I bet you if Doze is watching right now, he's probably saying, these amateurs don't know about Shieldbreaker Flux.
Yeah, I know. But I think you kind of have to recognize that your job on Flux in this game is not really to try to be the aggressor. You're kind of content with just delaying the match and just sitting back. Because I think if Flux can get his Shrunken and maybe even a Resto at some point, that's when it's going to be really hard for Tempest, because he can use one ulti and then Tempest can maybe try to Shrunken and pop an ulti, then Flux can use a second ulti. I think
we've had a lot of action, and I wanted to get your take on the itemization of Tempest won a tablet following up the Astrolabe, and Plague has a tablet. I think the tablet on Plague makes a lot of sense, but
yeah, I want to say I'm actually considering that maybe Tempest should have just gone for a barrier or something. I kind of understand that he's not trying to go for Shrunken and trying to. I mean, Shrunken at the end of the day is really nice. I can understand why maybe it would have been just. I'm not sure what tablet it really accomplishes here, honestly.
He gets pulled and he can jump out, or I'm not sure actually.
PK does that too.
It's a very tough positioning game for
Yeah, I mean, it's not tablet is rarely ever a very bad item. I know. I don't think it's awful, but maybe I would have liked to see something personally either working towards a barrier just to because they do have a lot of magic damage coming out from the Legion team currently. They're just predominantly magic damage with a few exceptions, but and they are pretty squishy across the board on the Hellborn side. So I feel a barrier would be pretty good, or just a Shrunken just so he can just get it pulled in by Flux, just pop Shrunken and just ulti. There is of course the issue that he might get pulled in through the engineer
Hammer's being chased by Magnus goes for a blind stun. Unfortunately, the guess is wrong. Can't really fault the attempt there. Tempest is coming in a little. Turn this, but he's got to be careful because they're smoked up here. Lux is almost on top of them. Oh my god, he's literally next to them. There's a 3-man pull. Moon Queen pops the Shrunken and the ulti. They need some crowd control though. Here comes a Lava Surge on the Hammer Storm. He did channel the ulti. They get 1 kill. Boy, I was really hoping that the mag would just blink stun there on top of the pull, but
I can really feel that the Hellborn side, they're really starting to feel the pressure of the Moon Queen. It's like, you know, the sort of pressure compared to the previous game, it has just completely shifted. Whereas the Hellborn, they kind of feel like they're on the back foot because they have to prevent the Moon Queen from just free farming. So they're starting to take these engagements where, you know, Hammerstorm, he's like working towards a Shrunken. But he's trying to, like, you know, play somewhat offensive.
Tempest gets caught here, but a tablet avoids the Lava Surge jump. They would have been certainly dead there if he got stunned up.
I feel like the tablet occurred before the left. As I was saying, the Hammerstorm, let's say he was the Bushwhack in this situation and they were not against the Moon Queen, then he would be kind of sitting back trying to finish his Shrunk, but now he feels like he's on a timer, so they're starting to take these sort of engagements before he even has finished his Shrunken, and it's clearly, like, you know, kind of biting them. I would have liked to see that, you know, then just maybe slowing down the game a little bit and just, you know, trying to finish some core items on some of the heroes, because it seems like they're just, you know, putting themselves into a situation where they have a pretty big chance just to lose the fight.
So we haven't really talked a lot about Midas this game. He's been kind of quietly farming, split pushing the lanes. He's got a PK, a post haste, and he went for the gnomes as his first item. He's almost on par with the Moon Queen's GPM. Well, I guess first question is, do you like his item route? You like the way he's like split pushing and just putting pressure to try to make space for the hammer? But also, like, maybe to follow up with that question, what should he like try to go for next as well? He's having a pretty good game.
I had to be honest with you. I don't really think it. I mean, I know they're pushing out the lanes and whatnot, but I don't think it like accomplished a whole lot. His items are pretty standard. I think Gnomes is fine in this hero. I think the Storm Spirit is okay as well.
He just picked up a Storm. More of a supporter route.
Well, I guess you can always Stone Spirit into like a combo before Moon Queen can Shrunken, so you have like a guaranteed like stun chain. But I think personally, I probably would have just liked to see him try to work towards like a Hex or something, because they have no saves on the Hellborn and the Legion side. So if you can land like a Hex or a Hellflower on the Moon Queen, then they actually don't really have anything to save her.
I agree. You can kind of just go all in on the Moon Queen kill.
I like just like being able to, you know, just pile on stuns on the one person, and that's kind of why sometimes you just need to have a defensive carry or defensive support.
This is definitely not an Esthon Midas though, because Esthon would have Codex.
Yeah, Codec and
Codec to be precise,
and a Amulet of Exile or something like that.
True. By the way, Engineer dropped a field down. I think they were thinking about doing a combo, but they decided not to, so a bit unfortunate because now they don't have the field for 75 seconds, and that's a big part of their team fight, even coming from the support. That's might be okay with just stalling it out. Hellborn's gonna look to try to steal the Kongor here. They cannot get a token here, it looks like. They took a little too long. They're gonna go for the second Kong anyway.
They're gonna try to contest it with the Moon Queen. She popped Smoke or Belbrock. This is looking to be a team fight.
Just gonna run in first, pops the ultimate. Hammer doesn't have Shrunken, by the way, so he's eating a lot of these Moonbeams. So is Kongor, he's soaking it up. Moon Queen trying to man fight the Hammer, she brings him down. Flux Pull was used in the background. Tempest still has an ultimate. He's gonna get swapped by the Andro, and it actually cancels the Tempest ultimate. Now Flux is holding his ground with the Barrier Riddle. Here comes the Riftwalker ulti.
Wait, this is looking like it's being in favor of Legion pretty hard right now.
They should be able to get another kill here, maybe, if they can bring down the Midas. He's gonna get warp up. Oh no, wait, he goes for the turn kill actually.
Oh, what is...
One hit on the Riftwalker.
Another neutral kill?
Down. Magnus is gonna stun him up. There's the Moonbeam to interrupt the warp.
He's gonna get away, I think. Oh, nah, he's getting away. Oh!
Combo almost lands onto the Flux. Has the PK. Has another warp in 1 second. Do they know? I don't think they know he's here. They don't have vision. He makes the escape.
I have to tell you, I really don't understand why they're attempting enemy Kongor with without a stronger than Hammer Storm. He literally only died to the Moon Queen ulti. Like just the Moon Finale just killed him. And if you had a strong in there, it would have been just a completely different story. They're just, I don't know, trying to press the issue, but they don't really have the means to do it. So
that was really just Moon Queen charging in, like no crowd control on the Hammer. He was like freely running away too, but he just had to turn around and man fight the Moon Queen on low life.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like where he got stunned up by anyone, so probably just not the fight they should have taken then in the end. Energy field catches Tempest. He misses the stun though, but there's a Flux pull to get him back in the field. He gets swapped by the Endro. Probably going to be fine here. Choosing to turn around and mana for an engineer kill. They are going to get it. Tempest almost falls to the Riftwalker burn in the background, but he's going to make it out to safety. So even though it was like 5 versus 2 or 3, they end up getting a 1-for-1 trade there. Not too bad.
So the Flux seems to be working towards a Frost Wolf, sorry. I think I'm kind of okay with that. I was considering the PK, but I don't think there's like any harm in just tanking up and just... it also is going to help them kiting a lot, so... And I think if they're like all pretty tanky, they can more or less deal with just getting ulti by Tempest, so...
But they do get their own Kongor kill now. Moon Queen has her Geobane finished with another 3,000 gold-ish. Saved up, 2,700. It was actually Riftwalker's gold I saw. I had a double take because Riftwalker has 2,900 gold. He can buy something fancy pretty soon. Not sure what he'll get, but options are getting bigger and bigger. The Tempest has a Shrunken Recipe. Not a Shrunken yet. That's a recipe with the Mighty Blade. Probably bought that for the Warhammer. It's a saved gold.
Yeah.
Hammer. I want to say he just needs the recipe. He might also still need the Warhammer. 430 GPM. I think he just needs the recipe, right? We'll see in a sec here if he gets buys it out. Yeah, okay. It's got the Shrunken being delivered.
Oh, yeah.
Now they could take their own Kongor, probably. They are going up against a level 16 Moon Queen now.
Yeah, the Hammer Storm just finished his Shrunken, but I feel like, you know...
Oh, Flux Pull. Stops the Tempest TP. I think he was porting away.
That's really nice.
So, it's so hard to play against Flux the later in the game goes, because you can always stop TPs.
Yeah.
Such a powerful tool for being disruptive.
And the Moon Queen is also becoming really hard to deal with Hellborn. And the Newerth, it looks like it's somewhat similar. They're slightly behind in XP on the Legion side, but I'm definitely, I think, kind of favoring the Legion odds right now. That being
also,
said,
Agi carry versus Strength carry, the longer the game goes, probably favors the Moon Queen.
Yeah, I think most games in general just favor Moon Queen if the game goes late.
True.
So of course there are some exceptions, but especially in this game where they are kind of relying on the Hammer Storm to have a good game. I just feel like they kind of, you know.
Moon Queen's got to be careful here. She's almost by herself. She has Rift in the area, but
yeah,
I guess she's gonna see the Endro here. But
I think the Moon
saw
Queen
Hammer Storm bottom as well. She should know they're in the area.
Done a really good job not getting picked off, considering that they have no defensive supports. They do have a Stone Spirit now on the Magnus, so they do have some sort of defensive ways to save the Moon Queen. But
even has the Jade Spire on the Magnus for longer range on the stun, and
yeah, I don't hate it. I think it's okay actually.
Not too bad.
I think, and the Moon Queen
range, more range for to cast the Storm from safer.
Moon Queen bought a simple.
Safer distance.
I like it.
I was gonna ask you, is this just straight up the wingbow like we typically see, and then he goes and buys the symbol?
I don't hate the simple. I think they do have
here. Energy field is down. Where's the Flux though? He's in the area. Decides not to pull yet. Is he? Oh, he already used the pull. I'm just not paying attention. They're gonna only get the Andro though. That's not really the fight that they were looking for when they dropped the combo.
Definitely not. But I think, I mean, I don't think they're like unhappy with how it turned out.
They burned 3 ultis and the Moon Queen Shrunken. Can they still fight? Because Hammer has Shrunken. They don't have a Tempest Soul though. I guess they're gonna play it safe. Maybe steal some of the Hellborn.
I think Midas is gonna look to staff the Hammerstorm. I think that's actually really, really crucial here that he upgrades the staff, and I think staff is really good here to kind of so Hammer doesn't have to go for a PK.
So he gets the reduces ability cooldown by 2 seconds on the staff effect, so all of his abilities have 2 seconds less cooldown. Yeah. And then he gets a larger jump, right? Range, I think. It's 1,000 range on the elemental shift, it's called now.
Yeah.
Tempest died in the base? I missed that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened. I guess
I was busy reading. Moon Queen's at the base, by the way. They got the Tempest skill, so she's feeling pretty confident here. She's taking some tower hits, though. This is a little bit of her life. Regen it up now. And Midas did staff the Hammer, and they shouldn't know that, so that could come at a surprise here. If maybe he can get the jump on the Moon Queen or whatever target he chooses. They do have a Storm Spirit, though, on the mag, so let's see how this plays out here. They barrier rattle the creep wave. Energy field is down. Magmus jumps in with the eruption. Hammer gets the Shrunken off. There's the pull from the Flux.
Oh,
they lost the Engineer, and there's a buyback on the Tempest.
He still doesn't have a Shrunken and Tempest.
Storm Spirit goes out on the Hammer Storm. That was the Magmus's Storm Spirit, by the way. The Midas is... they did kill the Midas, and he had the Storm Spirit up. So they lost the NG for the Midas and forced the buyback out. Moon Queen still has Shrunken, Symbol, Ulti, and Geo. She has everything. She's feeling very confident here. Tempest is taking the right clicks. There's a 2-man stun from the Magmus. He's gonna sacrifice himself though. Riftwalker gets a 2-man combo. Shrunken is activated. Here comes the Tempest ulti. They're holding them down. All 3 of them are in there. Hammerstone was forced to fall back though as the Moon Finale was active. And Plague Rider's gonna fall. And Barometer uphill. Oh. I think that was an uphill.
That might have just been the illusion damage. Yeah, I think it was illusion.
Andro survives. Very low life. They didn't lose Hammer, but they're gonna lose the Rexes.
I think it's gonna be really hard.
That was a really good soul, but just they didn't have any fighting power at that point.
Yeah, Moon Queen also got her. I think she got Shrunken off, and she had a Moon Finale up. That was just too much for them to deal with. I don't think she used the symbol in that fight, right? I think she was still like healthy the whole time. Boy, when he gets the wing bow, he is scary. That's gonna be a scary Moon Queen when he gets the wing bow. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty big issue for them to deal with.
So, Hammer's got 3,400 gold. Does he preemptively build into Savage Mace here because the wing bow's kind of inevitable, or does he go for something else and hope that it can?
I think you have to. I think you have to work towards the Savage. Like the issue being that like you have to kill Moon Queen. If you don't kill Moon Queen's gonna kill all of you. Like it's not a hero you can ignore. So
yeah.
I think he needs to do Savage, otherwise...
Magnus missed the stun here. He Steam Bath, gets comboed up by the Transmute. Energy field is down. He gets stunned, though. This is a DD Hammer Storm who activates the Shrunken. He's getting kited a little bit here. Buyback from the Magnus here. He's trying to run back to his team. Engineer, 1 hit. He's going to fall here to the Plague Rider. They still have Plague Carrier ready to go.
Might actually look
Shrunken on the Hammer, though.
Yeah, and he also has no ult. Wait. That was not...
Oh, Moon Queen's getting jumped here. She's getting stunned. She gets the Shrunken off, though. She still has Symbol. She's gonna pop it. She's hitting. She's healing. She pops the Geobane. Hammer is in the middle of the fight. He's down. And Moon Queen Shrunken wears off. She gets transmuted, but the damage is done. Plague Rider ultimate bouncing. It's gonna stop. Did some good damage, but not enough for any kills. And they're gonna catch the Tempest as well. They turn it with the Magnus buyback. pretty handedly. They get 3 kills. They only lost the engineer. Base tier 4s are dying to the mega lane, mega creeps up in the top lane. And there's still a catapult going ham on the meatball. This meatball has no chance.
I think Moon Queen just finished the wing bow.
Probably, yeah. She's sitting on almost 700 GPM now. There it is. She just right-clicked it.
I think it's going to be very, very difficult for the Hellborn to deal with this. It's also, as I was saying when you asked me about like whether the Midas, if it was useful that he was just split pushing, sure, he's getting good GPM, but you still have a pretty pressing issue to deal with this Moon Queen. So you can avoid the issue, but at some point you just have to, deal with it.
He jumps in aggressively here to get rid of the illusions. Gets swapped out by the Endro though. He's feeling pretty confident he could stall the push there. Energy field comes down. There's the flux pull. Pulls in 3. They're gonna take out the energy field. Trunken Head's activated by the Hammer Storm. He's stuck there. Tempest Hole locks down the Moon Queen and 2 of her teammates. Riftwalker goes down. Already used the wormhole. Flux is getting right-click cleave down as he hits the Magnus. And now it's Moon Queen versus Hammer. I don't think Hammer can win that battle, but maybe if they get a stun on him from the team support. Everyone is so low on life, they're trying to chase this Moon Queen. 1 versus 4. Meanwhile, the tier 4s are down. The Shrine is exposed now. Moon Queen, she can just kind of turn and try to stall this a bit for the creeps. She has her Moon Finale still ready to go. She's going to get 1 kill, but that's all she gets. Champion Inner Streak does come out and is brought down immediately. Only taking out the Andro. If she was able to hold her ground for like another 2 seconds, that could have been a wipe. But she does fall.
The Sacrificial Shrine is down to half HP. That was
Yeah, once those tier 4 towers are down, the Mega Creeps do so much damage to the Shrine. They had to immediately TP or they would have lost their base chasing the Moon Queen.
Yeah.
So he goes for Heart.
Yeah, I suppose he just kind of recognizes, or he just kind of decides that he's not going to try to like primarily deal with the Moon Queen. Instead,
Midas getting caught here, trying to put some base pressure, perhaps. Has warp up. Got the he gets pulled, but he gets the PK off in time. Midas lands a nice kick stun in a mine, takes him out. Magma stuns up the Hammer. Can't really fight him though. Just trying to delay.
One thing you could, kind of consider is the fact that if let's say Tempest ulti is like 3 heroes, if the Hammer Storm is not attacking the Moon Queen, he can't really, dodge. So let's say he's just cleaving the Moon Queen.
I mean, he cleaved down the Flux. He was hitting the Magnus.
Yeah.
That was funny to see.
I kind of feel like the Flux needs to shrunken pretty soon. It's
yeah.
Or he could also work towards a rest though, just so he could double ulti.
I think the Shrunken's pretty safe here.
Yeah.
Get rid of the. He can sell the bottle or the chalice right now, and he has enough gold for the Shrunken.
I would kind of like Shrunken PK or something. You could just jump in, pop Shrunken, just pull them in, or something like that. Or like.
And just like insta root like whoever he pulls.
Yeah, or you.
Yeah. He gets the Tempest here. He can't get the Shrunken head off. He had whole cooldown for like 10 seconds. No buyback on the Tempest. That will probably be another set of racks. I don't think they can fight this 4v5.
Yeah, it looks like this is game. Unless they.
Hammer's gonna pop his Shrunken. Goes in, takes out the engine like 2 hits. The spike bullet comes out.
That's a lot of damage.
From the Riftwalker. Pretty hard to react to that in time, I will say. I mean, he's killing the Flux in 2 hits! He's gonna get stunned up here by the Riftwalker. Chunkinhead is down. Plague Rider carrier is bouncing. Magnus pops the Void. They're kiting the Hammer Storm the best they can.
They're winning this fight.
And Riftwalker's gonna die as well. Holy cow, this Hammer is a monster fight.
Yeah,
he's two-shotting everyone.
Seems like this Heart just gave him the extra damage he was looking for in conjunction with the...
doesn't need a Savage Base, just needs to cleave everyone other than Moon Queen down.
Yeah, actually Moon Queen kind of got scared and just started running away when her teammates were down. I think it's fine that they're playing slow.
That was awesome, the Flex just melted. Oh man. What is, so he has he can sell the talisman and buy something if he doesn't want to hold on to a buyback.
How long do you think this Moon Queen's gonna keep her duck boots for?
Oh man, I didn't even realize he had a duck boot. That's freaking awesome. He's got a duck boot at 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think personally I probably would have just like at some point sold it, just bought like a wind whistle or something.
If Dutch was casting, he'd say that duck boot should have been wind whistle. I think he's gonna buy something soon though. And if I had to guess, I think it'll be Genjuro. But it could be Rift Shards, because the hammer has a lot of HP.
Yeah. What do you think about going something like a Resto here, just so you have double
I was going to say that, actually. It could be Resto. It's not bad, I would say. Resto is always really good on last slot for most heroes.
Yeah, I feel like if the fights go long enough, Moon Queen is also have double simple. I think I personally probably would opt for the Resto here. I can understand if someone else would go for something different, but I just feel like still.
I'm selfish. I want to see Rift Shards.
Okay,
I think Resto is really good though. So
I can get behind the Rift Shards.
I just want to say that the Resto makes a lot of sense.
Hammer is just doubling down on going for the Springfield, so he's building a Frost Wolf now. I'm not against
it. NG jumped in. They just want the tower with the illusion? Man, the illusion took out the tower.
Easy.
That thing did so much damage. I think they lack an Arcane Bomb on Hellborn as well. They should invest into that maybe on the Andro or the Plague Rider. Maybe the Plague wants PK, but he could buy it right now. And then
what do you think should build it then?
I think the Arcane Bomb on Andro could be pretty good, or the Plague Rider. And then every time the Moon Queen pops Geos, they could burn it. They're catching the Engineer here, and Moon Queen did opt for Rift Shards. She is keeping level 1 to hold a buyback.
Yeah, I think
playing it conservatively, which is probably the right call.
Yeah, I think that's wise.
He wants damage. I approve.
The thing is, when you're going up against the Hammerstone with 4,000 HP, I think the value you get from the Rift Shards crit is pretty high. So, I don't blame him. I think it's definitely a good option. Well, yeah.
More damage, more fun.
That's how it goes.
Always got to measure the fun aspect. He could just like two-shot the Andro or the Plague Rider if he gets some lucky crits.
What do you think the Might is going to buy here? He's actually got 560 GPM. I wasn't kind of surprising so far, but I guess it's just been like pushing out waves the entire game.
Well, we did talk about Sheepstick earlier in the game, and I think they could still do that all in on the Moon Queen type of thing. And also like that's another thing about why Hammer doesn't need to go the Mace, Savage Mace, right? Because he could have a teammate Sheep the Moon Queen instead. And then he could probably get rid of the Gnomes. I think probably keep the Spell Shards as the other smallest item he has, right? Keep that for extra damage, get rid of the Gnomes, and swap it for the Sheepstick. And then if they can somehow all in the Moon Queen. They do have a couple of Storm Spirits, though. It's getting a little tougher now. That shape would have been a lot better like 20 minutes ago when the Midas had a good start. But can't really go against the staffing of the Hammerstorm. It's been pretty impactful, I would say.
Yeah, I think that one. I think he definitely had to buy that at some point. It was just whether he should go for a Stone Spirit. But I don't really like hate his item build or anything. Flux is sitting with 6,000 gold, which seems a bit excessive. I don't know what he's saving gold for.
He did sell the Gnomes, by the way. He just right-clicked the sheep, so that's a good call.
Yeah,
and Flux should also buy something. I really don't understand how he can't either go for a Shrunken or he wants a staff. Oh, he wants the staff. Wait, is it the NG or the Moon Queen? I think
it's NG.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be Moon Queen, but I don't know. Staff. Flux sounds really bad to me here. I don't think
he should probably staff the NG because it would be better on the Moon Queen if she went Resto.
He did on the who did he staff? No one. No one.
Wait, what? Who has the staff?
Himself? I don't know.
Wait, how can you consume staff without giving it to someone?
I don't know. No one has it.
Is this a bug? I heard the like animation.
Maybe enemy team. Did he give it to someone enemy team? I think it's Moon Queen. Doesn't she have some?
Oh yeah, oh it's showing up now. It's on Moon
Yeah,
Queen.
okay.
Maybe there was too many buffs on the display bar.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go, Tempest ultimates.
She didn't get
Bull
shrunk enough.
instantly counters it.
But she didn't get shrunk
Moon
enough.
Queen is sheeped. He's dead.
Oh my god. Oh,
Flux goes for the TP, gets Storm Spirited. They lose the Riftwalker as well. Flux is gonna die here. It's a pretty good fight here for Hellborn. They get the jump they were looking for. Perhaps the sheepstick was a surprise.
yeah, but the Moon Queen had, when she saw the Tempest jump in the air, she had time to pop her shrunken. She just didn't click it.
Nice TP stop and gets the Magmus as well. So there's buyback on 3 players for Legion, and Engie is up, so they could buy back on 3 if they need to. They don't have Brute Strength, Tempest Soul, or Plague Carrier. 2 of those are up in 30 seconds. Tempest Ulti not really super impactful anyway this game, since it's pretty much getting insta-cancelled every time. They buy back on the Moon Queen, and the last buyback used on the Magmus.
I just feel like if they had like a resto here on the Flux or something, or like maybe he could have saved the Moon Queen from getting like blown up or something, or shrunken. Or I don't know, I just feel like
Yeah, I think a Shrunken would just really allow him to go into the fight and deal damage as well, push people around, just be annoying. But I don't know if he was really able to do a whole lot in that fight.
and the staff didn't do anything. The Moon Queen didn't even get her ultimate up.
Yeah, that's a problem if you don't get your spell off. That makes
Good,
all the
okay.
items useless.
Yeah, that's true.
What levels are shards? Level 3 now?
Do you reckon they could like try to go for some split pushing stuff here on the Legion team? Try to like, because they're only missing like a pair and a half. So if they like start pushing the side lanes, maybe they can just like maybe run with a Moon Queen or something quickly and then TP out. Maybe that's a little bit too much.
They probably could split push on the Magnus a little bit more.
Looks like it's another team fight's about to happen.
Gonna jump the Tempest here. Energy field is down. Hammer jumps in on the engineer. He 2 shots, and Shrunken is on currently. A lot of damage coming in from the Moon Queen with the Rift Shards. Hammer is melting. He's on 200 life. He gets tableted out. They're gonna kill the Riftwalker, and the Andro sacrifices herself.
Yeah,
Man, Hammerstorm almost died there. I think the crits were crazy from the Moon Queen, because all of a sudden Hammer's HP was just melting.
Well, once Moon Queen gets to like auto attack Hammer, he just dies. There's just no competition between the two.
Yeah, it's not quite as fair anymore.
Yeah, but Hammer still poses a serious threat if he actually gets to start attacking.
Was that a... Yeah, second buyback was used right away from the Tempest. He dodges the Magma stun there. Magmus gets caught. He's gonna fall.
Sorry, didn't Tempest have like a mana boots at some point, as well as
Yeah, I think he sold the Astro and the probably broke the mana boots. Flux pull. Wait, did he pull them toward him? I think he just pulled them into him. That was a mistake, Mr. Kirby. I saw that. Domination comes out for Hammerstorm, hitting like a truck when he's not fighting the Moon Queen, at least.
The Moon Queen is trying. Oh,
did you see him 2-shot the engineer when he jumped into the field? The engineer just like disintegrated.
Look, Moon Queen is going for for the split push.
Oh yeah. Do they have TPs? Hammer has TP up. Andro just respawned. She's running out of the base with TP.
Yeah, it's actually better to go bottom because they
have TPs up on everyone. Does she pop the Geo and just run away here, or what does she do? Does she commit? Horse has the glyph out.
I think that was pretty good. They
had to use glyph there. She just TPs in the middle of the lane. That's awesome.
I think that was a decent play. Kind of forced them back. They are probably gonna try to look to get a Conquer, but how much does a token really do at this stage? I suppose he can like drop down his steam boots, but I mean, do you really care if you have a token on Hammer anyway? Once your ultimate is out, you're not really that serious.
Do you ever give it to Tempest or Midas? I guess Midas is kind of item capped too. Maybe give it to Tempest, or is it a waste?
I'm
Hammer
not
does
sure.
have 2 buybacks anyway, right? He can always buy back and post haste back in with his gold currently.
Yeah. How do you,
I'm just theory crafting here.
do you think it's correct that Hammer went for 4 points in stats and vitality this game? I feel like it's a bit. I feel like you're like it's kind of reaching a point of like.
I personally would take move speed because I hate playing these kitey style of carries. I would want to run faster, but I could also foresee other people choosing damage. But I think stats probably the worst of the 3.
Yeah, especially when you're like.
Smoke Up Legion team here. Oh, we could maybe have a fight. You're gonna get the energy field jump. Here comes the Magma Stun on the Plague Rider. The Flux pull doesn't really pull them in though. Riftwalker stuns up the Tempest with the Wormhole, cancels the Elemental Void. There's the Bola on the Hammerstorm, kiting most of his Shrunken, and now he's trying to pick a target to attack. He's gonna get stunned up by the Magma. Swap gets him to safety. I don't think they know where he went actually. He's gonna go for the TP. They do see him actually. They found him. Magnus channels Eruption in the face of Hammer. They get 3 kills. Hammer uses the buyback immediately with the Andromeda. They're both 1 out of 2.
Do you think they're gonna keep pushing here, or do you think they're gonna hold up after Zubab's count?
Boy, Legion could try to fight here, but they don't have Shrunken on Bone Queen.
I still think they can push the issue that
they have all the ultimates down.
Hammer's an ulti for 12. I guess by the time they reach the base, Hammer's gonna have ultimates. But he has no Shrunken himself, so they might be able to. They have a Flux ultimate coming up in 5 seconds from now. So it's a dangerous mission. But
if I'm Moon Queen here, I think I'm a little scared to go high ground.
Yeah.
He gets shaped. There's a Storm Spirit on the shape. Pops the Barrier Idol from Flux. Plague Rider Carrier bouncing. It's not a staffed ultimate though, so it does break. And they're trying to chase now, but Tempest is still dead. Engineer also dead for the Legion side. 4 versus 4 currently. Midas jumps in, trying to find a target to go on. Stun lands on the Flux. 3 hits, 2 hits. Flux pulls him in. Midas is gonna fall. Andro's gonna fall as well. Moon Queen getting 800 crits left and right. Hammer just melts. He dies. It's an onslaught double tap for the Moon Queen. Last buyback comes in from the Hammer Storm as the creeps in the top lane threatening the end of the game here on the Sacrificial Shrine. Moon Queen gonna get some free hits here on the Raxus. Plague Rider buys back as well as Midas. Moon Queen avoids the sheep. It goes on to Riftwalker. Storm Spirit comes in from the Magnus as well as Engineer getting Storm Spirit from himself. He gets the energy field down. Riftwalker dies. And now Engineer gets slowed up by the Frostal Skull. Transmute lands. Moon Queen gonna try to turn around a man fight here. Midas hitting right click down. 4 hits, 5 hits, 6 hits. He falls. And now Magnus comes in back in with an Eruption. Misses the Lava Surge. That looks silly. Does not matter in the end as Tempest does fall. And 1 melee Rax is standing here between Legion and the Mega Creeps. Moon Queen and Hammer duking it out. Magnus interrupts that fun that they were having. Moon Queen wins the battle, and Plague Rider goes in the air. He will fall, and that is gonna do it. Game 4 goes to bot.
GG.
aka Hmnos Yaipen. And you gotta correct me if I'm wrong. I think that just forced the Game 5.
That's a Game 5 right there, Brady.
Okay, we're going to Game 5. The series is tied up 2-2 in a pretty epic game number 4, I would say. That one going the distance.
Very close. What do you think Moon Queen's overall damage percentage was for that game?
Oh man, I didn't check.
29%. 29%.